which is an old release now, but in my opinion has stood the test of time. You could probably do better head sculpts these days, to be honest. With the glasses off, I suppose the eyes don't quite match up to the state of what they're releasing these days, but as a piece goes, I'm blown away with the guy. The base isn't included, that's actually from the Evil Superman version. I bought that just because I like my dioramas. But the articulation's great with this guy, the lightness is incredible. I think he's very much a posable figure. I like the colour scheme behind the toes on his head, on the back of his head. Really unmatched, incredible paintwork going on there. And remember, for an older figure, this definitely stands the test of time. This is actually my other half's favourite in the collection. I'm not going to go too much into detail with these individually. More of a countdown as such, and I'm just sort of putting across what is my favourite top 10 as it stands. So he is number 10. Okay, number 9 we have Enterbay's Scarface, and as far as face sculpts go, I would say he is arguably the best in my collection, and amongst there with the best I have seen in a 1/6 scale figure. Just nailed it from the Scarface film. I thought the clothes and accessories for what is needed in this film is second to none, really nice. The chair doesn't come included, neither does the rug he's sat on. Everything else does. And he normally has the white jacket which is behind the chair on as well, but just for a variant I've gone with the shirt look. You can get the real chair which was released by Blitzway, I believe. I'm yet to pick that up. That's definitely on the want list. I just find this one amazing, and again ticks my boxes for classic films and a really nice all-round figure. And the head sculpt, as I say, is probably the best I have in this collection. I think it's that good. And at number 8 is my favourite Batman as a figure goes, and my worst Batman as a film goes. It's funny that. My favourite film would have to be the Keatons. No, sorry, it's not the Keatons, it's the Nolans. Christian Bale Batman's, in my opinion, the best Batman films. This is the worst, still reasonable as far as a superhero film goes. But that's what lets this down. However, the figure is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Built to last, just feels like quality. You can get some really good dynamic poses with him. I find the likeness incredible to Ben Affleck. You get all sorts of different face plates. There's a serious plate, there's a screaming one, and there's a slightly open mouth. This is the first version that they released. That body is second to none, take my words for that. You can also change the eyes out to help with the poses. And it comes with a bunch of accessories. It's a nice box, and that's the Suicide Squad Batman cape that I purchased just to add to the posing options that I thought that helps out the figures when you come to posing. So yeah, he's definitely, I thought I could not put a top 10 in without him. The film wouldn't even come close to my top 10, but I'm doing this as figures, and he has to be in there, so yeah, definitely in at number 8. Okay, number 7, we've got Tony Stark, Iron Man, and this is the Mark IV, the die-cast version. I think an incredible head sculpt. There are some newer releases now. I got this for Christmas actually, and I thought an unbelievable likeness to Tony Stark from that time, from the film. This is Iron Man 2. Really catching piece. I thought it had all the classic colours from what I would associate with Iron Man. Not the biggest Iron Man fan, if I'm totally honest, but I need one for the collection. I do have some Avengers. I love Endgame and Infinity War in particular, and I thought he is a must. They feel real quality with these die-cast figures. I know my brother absolutely loves the die-cast range, so he is all out on Iron Man. He's got a number of them. But this guy's great articulation, nice accessories, nice extras, loads of things you can do with him. The rock base again is Thor's from the original Dark World. I thought that was quite epic to put him in with the Iron Man, just to replicate a better base than what you do get with this one, to be honest, which is a pretty standard stand that comes with a lot of the Hot Toys figures these days. So yeah, Iron Man 4 is coming in at number 7. Okay, and at number 6 we have the Jack Nicholson Joker from the 1989 version of Batman. One of the early pickups in the collection game. I first saw this guy at the San Diego Comic-Con. Couldn't tell you the year, I guess it would be 2012, 2013, something like that. And I was like, whoa, I've got to get him, he is incredible. And in hand, he's even better. Again, it comes with parallel eye rolling system, which helps change the posing options tremendously. You can look like he's even making a different expression. I find it that good. I've also got the mime version, which you could argue is even better head sculpt than this, but the reason I've gone with this is this one over the mime version is you see much more of him in the film, and that is the classic look for the Jack Nicholson Joker from the 1989 Batman film. Comes with all sorts of accessories, as I'm sure you've seen from many different reviews. As far as the figure goes, and the film even, I would say that this is ticking all the boxes for me as a collector. Nostalgia, realism, posability. He's awesome. And I haven't moved him from that pose in quite a while now, so that might need to be changed for the future. So yeah, I could not do a top 10 without including this guy. He is epic. Okay, and at number 5, and this is a group as opposed to a single figure. These are, again, it's just my personal favourite if I was going to do a top 10. This is how I view them, and they could easily rank even higher, because I think these are great from Blitzway. I'm a guy of nostalgia, and the higher up the list we go, the more and more I think we're going to creep into the 80s. I think the head sculpts are unbelievable on these guys. I had to get the 4-pack. I did have Slimer, but I somewhat didn't really fit, in my opinion, with the sort of look I was going for, so I went for the 4 of them sat on the bench for now. It's the best way, in my opinion, to get them in to one shelf, which is what I don't normally do, as you've probably seen from my collection video tour. And if I was to go for a personal favourite from the 4, I would say it's Ray. It would be my favourite. Then it would go to Egon, based on the head sculpts this is. Then I'd say Peter Venkman, Bill Murray, and to Winston Zeddemore. Again, they're all amazing head sculpts, but that's just a personal preference. And that reaches in at number 5. Okay, and at number 4, here we go. Has to be the die-cast Robocop from Hot Toys. He's got the chair as well. I thought that was a necessity for this figure. And man, what a piece. What a piece. He is really, really well made. I think this is 2014 this came out. Lots of different posing options. I've got him in the battle damage look, as you can see at the minute. And then there you can see, in a certain light, his eye is actually looking for when they try and get him in the car park. The lights come on the chair behind. Great articulation. Everything you want to do with a Robocop figure. It oozes quality. I think the paint white's second to none. There are sound effect features as well. Can't say I've done that too often, to be honest, on this set, but it is there. Again, when I go into more reviews in the future, I will definitely show each of my 1/6 scale collections in their full glory. But in this top 10, I'm just going to show what I think are their major bonuses that make it into the top 10. So in at number 4 is the die-cast Robocop. Okay, and at number 3, this is getting really difficult. It's getting harder and harder. He's a new pickup, and we all know this is Darth Maul from the Phantom Menace, and what a figure. Great likeness. The body on it, these new bodies are something else. They move really well. The joints are really well supported. The additional head sculpt. I didn't go for the one with the bike purely because my brother actually picked up the special edition and I wasn't that blown away with it, if I'm honest. I thought it didn't stand too well. And not only that, I thought this is a figure you need to pose around. Especially with this screaming head sculpt, I find it incredible. The lightsaber, again, adds to the dynamic possibilities you get to pose this guy. And one major feature that I love that's so simple is the ability to switch the head as easy as that. I wish most of the figures in the collection could be that easy to do. But a very tough choice to get this guy as high as he is, but yeah, I find him that impressive. So yeah, number 3 is the Hot Toys Darth Maul. Okay, and at number 2, as I said, this is really difficult, much harder than I thought, to be quite honest with you. And I thought to myself, hang on, I haven't put Christopher Reeve Superman in, and that would have been a tragedy, because this was my very first hot toy, along with the Michael Keaton Batman, who I thought was just incredible. And this is my favourite as a kid. If I'd have seen this as a kid, walking into this room, he would have been the one I'd have wanted to take home with me, and I wouldn't be able to afford it in those days. So yeah, he's very striking. I think the head sculpt's incredible. I loved the films. I thought it's just my childhood. The suit, the colour of the suit, the posability that you can do with this guy, the cape, a lot of people say the diorama, the Fortress of Solitude, gets a lot of flack, but I actually really like it. Yeah, it's got its issues. It does fall out, the crystals and what have you aren't particularly well put in, which I suppose could be improved, but as a whole, I think that, you know, what better look could you get for Christopher Reeve Superman than that, really? I suppose you could get him flying, which is what the evil Superman, which is pretty much the same figure. Anyone that doesn't know or is watching that's not familiar with Hot Toys, these are the same versions, but this was from the third film where he went evil and is called the Evil Superman. He was a victim of kryptonite that wasn't quite, didn't quite go to plan, as I've forgotten the names completely now. Richard Pryor was the sort of mock villain. He was the comedy guy that gave Superman the kryptonite, and it had tar in, from what I remember, which made him go just bad and didn't kill him as such, which is what they wanted him to do. And instead he comes with a weathered look, and he was on alcohol at this point, flying to the junkyard where he has that epic fight with Clark Kent, and then turns back to this Superman. So sorry, this is the one that I'm putting in at number 2, although again, like I say, they're very close because they are the same figure. My number 2, Christopher Reeve Superman. Okay, here we go, in at Numero Uno. Took a while to think who would actually get my number 1, and it really, as I keep saying, it's really difficult because they're all particularly special in my eyes. But as a set, as a figure goes, and as a likeness, it basically ticks all the boxes. The box in itself is just such class, such quality, and the film is one of my all-time greats, if not. It's definitely in my top 5. And the likeness is second to none. It's a 2 set. This is the really damaged version, where I've got him on the end scene, where he goes into the lava, where he's dangling from that chain, because he has to make the ultimate sacrifice and get rid of that last chip. And that's how the film franchise should have ended, but as we know, it didn't. And they went on to make awful films since Salvation, Genesis, and the recently flopped Dark Fate, which is a shame because I just thought they nailed it with the two. And the first Terminator Battle Damaged version is very difficult because he's not in my top 10, which is amazing to me. He's definitely someone that should have been. And this is the other version from that twin pack. The not so battle damaged version, who again is amazing. They both come with the eye systems where you can actually manipulate the eye sockets to, or the eyeballs should I say, to help the dynamic pose abilities. They come with all sorts of accessories and weapons. Just nailed it to a T. And the eye on the light up version, which is not on at the minute, it's not got batteries in, that just finishes the look for me. And I can't say enough about this figure. Everything you'd want. Massive Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, as you'll see in my notable mentions in a minute, as I close off this top 10 countdown, which was much harder than I thought. And I'll probably change my mind next week. But there he is, number 1, the Hot Toys DX13 Battle Damaged Terminator. Okay, some honourable mentions that, in my opinion, are incredible. But just, there's only 10 you can put in this top 10 countdown. So, as I said, that could change in time, who knows. But he has to be in there, the Nightmare Batman. The time I saw him again, it was at San Diego Comic Con. I was like, well, that's really different. And this was before I even seen the film, so I thought that looks so different for a Batman film. And I didn't really understand it at the time. I was like, why's Batman got a brown coat on? Seeing the film, it's actually one of my favourite scenes in the film, which wasn't so good. But I thought, man, he looks awesome, I've got to have him. And finally picked him up. He wasn't cheap, but he was needed and definitely stands out in this collection. You can do all sorts of things with him. Again, the eyes change, the faceplates change. Comes with those binoculars. I'm just blown away with the look of that Batman figure, and he has to make the honourable mentions. Also, some other honourable mentions. Here's this guy, the Obi-Wan Deluxe version from Hot Toys. Great lightness. I love the diorama base, which does light up as well. That shows the time where Anakin is bowing to the Emperor. We all remember that one well. Naughty boy. Great figure, lovely set. Great posability, comes with a very poseable body. And is a standalone great piece for this collection. Another honourable mention goes to this guy. I know there's been newer Jokers since. This is the very first DX1 from Hot Toys. And I first remember seeing this guy on numerous reviews, and I just thought he was incredible. And to me, I still really like him. I know the DX11's newer. There's been some other custom versions which I'm sure will probably push this out the park, to be honest, but as a personal preference, I still am sticking with this guy. I find him awesome, and he was one of the early ones I really wanted when I started getting into this hobby. So he is, without a doubt, an honourable mention for my personal preference for collecting 1/6 scale figures. Another honourable mention has to go to this guy. One of my favourite films. He's definitely in my top 5 Terminator for films. Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, and as the figure goes, this guy is awesome. We were waiting for him for quite a long time. Hot Toys did actually tease a 1/4 scale version, which we still haven't seen actually. But thankfully we've got it in 1/6 scale, and incredible figure. You could argue that the body's a little bit undersized, could be a little bit bulkier. Not a major issue with me. the head sculpts are incredible. And the second head sculpt, you could argue, is even better than this one. He's not on display at the minute, but these are definitely eye-catching pieces, and could not do this video without mentioning this Terminator. Absolutely awesome. Other ones that narrowly escaped my top 10 countdown. Oh, I love the DX10. You could mention all of them, I could be here all day. As a female figure goes, this was a present from my other half, and I think she's incredible. Again, not a major fan of the films. I know there's a new Harley Quinn film coming out soon, but when I first saw this I thought, wow, that is a great one for likeness and posability, believe it or not, because the hair moves. I like the expression on the face, which I think captures the likeness extremely well. And the colours, it's very vibrant, it stands out on its own. A very unique, different figure that we both liked, and I was surprised one day to find it in the cabinet bought by the missus. What a girl. Anyway, yeah, so as far as honourable mentions go, I think I will leave it there. Oh no, how could I not mention this guy? He's my... I said it could go on forever. Neo from The Matrix. Stunning, great film, great likeness, great posability. I haven't got too many bad words to say about this figure at all. I haven't got too many bad words to say about any of my figures in general, which is probably why they're in the collection, but as I said, you've got to narrow it down. And this guy's really poseable, lots of fun. And I do think will stand the test of time based on the fact that he is from an epic movie. I love him too. Again, the film wasn't so great. Kylo Ren. But yeah, that's the end of my top 10 countdown. I think that's enough honourable mentions now before being here too long to say they've all got into the collection room. So yeah, that's my top 10 countdown. If you haven't liked and subscribed, all that stuff, please do so, and I will bring excuse me, some more content in the near future, hopefully some reviews, or just some feedback really. Any particular pieces you'd like me to review or go over, or any questions at all, I'll be happy to oblige. It's a great hobby, this, and it's even greater when you can share. So yeah, I look forward to hearing soon, and I hope you enjoyed my top 10 countdown.